Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That voice right there, man. I've been talking about this man all morning. Tracy, can you tell him what I've been saying?
Oh, my gosh. Citizens, he's been saying, if you don't know, you're late. This is someone who is ridiculously talented. This is someone we've gotten to know and will begin continuously knowing right here, right now, via your niece, Jillian, who has always been hooking me up with the best music. So I got to say she has some golden ears, and I feel like she's not going to steer us wrong with this artist.
Absolutely, man. Sub-trap days, empty bank days, I was very bad days. These are some of the earlier projects that he put out that really start making his stamp, and it caught the attention of a lot of different people. If you look at his discography, you'll see a slew of individuals he's worked with, from Chief Keef to Denzel Curry. We just played one of those songs. Swiss Beats, you know, he's Tyler the Creator, you know, Burner Boy, you know, he's worked with, damn it, he's worked with all kind of legendary people.
Yeah, innumerable cosigns.
And they don't work with you because you're whack. That's not how this game works. They work with you because they see something, they feel something. You strike a chord, you strike an emotion. He doesn't make quick, fast music like fast food that goes through your body and you shit it out and you don't realize you even ate it. Right. He makes the kind of music that sticks to your ribs, that sticks to your soul. Yeah. You know, I was listening to the F65 album just last night and 2 days prior, and every time I listen to this project, I hear something different. Yeah. And that's something I can appreciate as a music lover, not somebody who's worked in the industry for decades and been responsible for a lot of your favorite rappers' careers being launched. I'm stunting right now. I got to stunt a little bit, you know, but when I listen to this man's music and I see his movement and the way he moves around and his skill set, it reminds me of some of the dopest MCs I ever been around. And this lets me know that the culture is in good hands. I want to welcome him to the show. Please give it up to the one and only IDK.
Yeah, welcome.
IDK.
Hey, that's a legendary intro. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm just speaking from the heart, man. There ain't no notes here,
and
dog.
that's why it's so legendary. I can feel that.
Yeah,
that's real.
Ain't no notes, Sam. Man, you make me happy, bro.
Yeah,
I've had a good week, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had Belly came yesterday.
Oh yeah.
The artist Belly out of Ottawa. Vic Mensa came the day before. Yeah. You know, and you're here today. Yeah. Man, we batting 1,000, bro.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
How it's been? What was the first project you released ever?
Man, that one. I don't even want to say it on the air because then people might listen to it. But
okay,
it's called Sex, Drugs, and Homework. I put that out when I dropped out of college to make music, and that's really what that was basically about. And then Subtrap is around the time I met you. That's what was out, and yeah, those are the first two things I put out.
You remember what we met first?
I feel like it was like a talk you were doing somewhere. Was it at an Apple store or what was it? I forgot what it was.
Was it here?
It was in New York.
Yep. It was at the Apple store. I think I was doing it with Rob Markman.
Yeah.
Rob, you remember that?
Yeah, I came up. I was stalking y'all.
Yeah. So, and ain't that something? You see how far Rob Markman has gone since that day. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I can't remember what I was talking about, though, but I remember that. And I remember when I first heard your music thinking, because, you know, for us, a lot of people approach you and maybe 2% are somebody that's going to blow you away, right? You know, 10% are people who got potential, and then the rest is folks who are going to try to scratch and crawl and find their way to success. A lot of times the 2% don't survive because the music has so much substance in it. It might not be able to walk against the trends. Your music is different, though. My niece and I were talking. Your music, to me, when I listen to each of your projects, I can't put you in a genre. I feel like it's genreless. Yeah. IDK, was that your intent?
You know what? It's really about how I grew up and how I was, raised. I was born in London, England. I came to America when I was 2 years old. My mom was from Sierra Leone. My dad was from Ghana. I grew up in a Sierra Leonean household. I've been in jail and prison 4 times, but the same time I was in prison, that same year I went to college. I rap now. I teach a music business course at Harvard. that basically explains why my music is so, you know, multifaceted.
That's a film.
But that's perplexing.
Yeah.
You went to jail and prison at the same time.
Yeah. Oh no, sorry, college.
I mean, college and prison at the same time.
The same year. I got out of college. I went to college, got locked up. This was the third time I got locked up, and then went to prison, went to jail, transferred to prison, and then got out and went back to school. And I was teaching in prison. I was helping people get their GEDs.
How old were you when you first went to prison?
The first time jail was 17. Prison, I was 19 and 20.
I don't even think people realize there was a difference.
Oh yeah, it's a big difference. Jail is like, you know, you go there as like, you know, if you're trying to fight a case or you got like a short amount of time. Prison is where like people getting shanked a lot, and well, it depends on where you at. Anything can happen anywhere, but prison is like people for like 20 years, 30 years, like really like doing a real bid.
So you got a song called "No Shoes on the Rug, Leave Them at the Door."
Yeah.
Off the, I want to say that was Very Bad project, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. In that, you talk about that, right?
Yeah.
You say, I feel like that's when you say you were 17 when you went to prison.
Yeah.
You supposed to be a doctor or a lawyer, all these different fancy job titles.
Yeah.
I just got back from Accra, Ghana.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was there in January with Chance and Vic Mensa.
Oh, lit.
And that pilgrimage changed my life, brother.
Wow.
You know, I went to Elmina.
Elmina, that's what I was going to ask you.
Come on, I went to Elmina. I went to they call them castles. I call them dungeons. Yeah. That was the passageway of where they pretty much manufactured enslaved kings and queens from that land. But what I learned is, you know, Ghanaian parents in Africa don't play.
Not at all.
Like if you're their child, the idea of you want to be an entertainer,
Right?
Yeah.
Too risky.
Yeah. Were you considered the black sheep of the family?
Of course, 100%. I'm the first person in my family to go to jail. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was always getting in trouble when I was younger, and always getting compared to my cousins who were doing better, you know, in school and stuff like that. So yeah, I think though by the time I decided to be a rapper, my mother was just happy I was doing something positive, because I was just doing so much negative before that. Yeah.
What happens? Like, it sounds like you come from a really pretty well-to-do family, you know.
Right.
Sub-trap stands for suburban trap, right? And we kind of get up. I grew up in East Oakland, so it wasn't a suburb. So when I see kids who grow up in privileged environments, but they're doing criminal activities, it's disappointing, and it kind of perturbs you. Why does that happen?
So it's funny, on the song Telecolor on F65, one of the last lines I say is, just because he grew up middle class doesn't mean that he won't hit your ass. We watching different news, cause shit to prove be worse than shit to lose. A lot of times, proving yourself will cause you to do some things that may be way worse than, you know, things to lose or what you don't have. You know what I mean? So I grew up in PG County, Maryland. That's like, basically, no one ever talks about what happens after gentrification, right? Okay. PG County, Maryland is what happens after gentrification. They move black people out of the hood and say, okay, go live over here, but they don't change the mentality. So the mentality stays, the environment changes, but then mentality will change the environment. So I'm in a place where it's $300,000 houses, but people getting shot, you know? If in PG County, if you don't go to a private school, all the public schools are terrible. So I went to a public school, and that's who I was around. So I felt like I got love from people in the streets. So I wanted to make sure I maintained that love by doing things that, you know, made them feel like I was cool.
Like you was one of them.
Exactly.
Well, you are one of them, but like you was down.
Yeah, exactly. So that's really what it was. It was just trying to prove myself to a certain group of people, and at times going to worse extents than they would be, because I really felt like I had something to prove.
When did you arrive at a moment of self-knowing? Because there are times where, you know, you can see you're making bad decisions, but you're already within the grip of that habit, versus someone who's just like without any void of any awareness. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I think the way to explain it is there's different points in my life where I got a new level of awareness. So the first time was when I went to jail the first time.
Right.
The next time was when I went to jail the last time. Then after that, it happened when my mother passed away 2016. And then my dad passed away 2 years after that. So knowing that I had to be on my own, you know. And then probably the next one was when I made my first $1 million, like 2019. So that's basically,
you were
like
23 years old at that time? Or how old?
2019. I'm 30 now. So 2019,
okay.
I was like 27 or something, 26, 27. So
Okay.
yeah. So it literally,
you a young looking 30. What the fuck you drinking, man?
It's different now, man.
Still bring about that goat blood from Ghana? You sipping on that? No, what are you doing?
Nah.
Okay.
It's the genes. It's the genes.
And when you
Yeah,
stay
yeah.
out of trouble, you look younger.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
but it's basically like different points in my life.
Yeah.
You know, pivotal points that changed me.
Did your parents get to see the ascension of your greatness? Did they get to see you doing well?
Man, kinda, but not really. Like,
Yeah.
my mom passed away before. It's funny. The last time I slept on anybody's couch, I can remember it, was around the time my mom died. After that is when my success really started to kick in. It's the craziest thing. Yeah.
After you gained an angel.
It's not so crazy, bro.
Exactly. Yeah.
It ain't so crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's real. Yeah, you know, that's that reason. You
Yeah.
know, got to go back to those pre-Christianity beliefs.
Yeah. 100%. Nah,
And
facts.
what are your beliefs?
For me, is I believe that the religion, to an extent, is real, but I think that it all used to probably be one thing.
Yeah.
And over time, it's like a big, gigantic game of telephone. And I think that it branched off into different things. So I don't necessarily subscribe to one of those, but I do believe that whatever it was originally is real and true, because they all correlate. And if you look at the world today, it's a lot of religions say a lot of the things that are happening right now. So I'm spiritual. I do believe there is a religion, but I believe it stems from all these other religions stem from whatever that original one is.
What
Yeah.
are some of the values you believe that contribute to your compass right now that help you make decisions?
I think everything I do is with my heart. A lot of people ask me, how do I get certain things that other artists don't get that are way bigger than me? And it's just my intention. My intention is always, I look at myself as like the Robin Hood of brand partnerships. I like kind of work with like brands, and then I bring people that I believe deserve the opportunity but may not ever get it to those brands. So it's like, really, it's not about money and none of that. It's literally from my heart. When I make my music, I tap into whatever my heart tells me to make. I don't even write music no more. It's just off the top. I just kind of get in, piece it together.
Come on, man. I hear that all the time, bro.
Yeah. Nah.
That's true?
No, seriously, like piece by piece, I think of a line, I think of the next line, and that's usually how it goes.
So then what is the practice for memorizing the song? Because I can see, obviously you can create something, but then you have to perform it.
So here's the thing. I only put out music that I love. So in order for me to put it out, I already listened to it. That's how I memorize it. It's not, it's organic. It's not like, all right, let me remember this song.
Right.
It's never that. Even to like, it's funny because Wayne says something about how like he forgets lines that he says because he just does it so much. I can understand now more than ever, because it's like I just really just be going in and piecing things together. So it's like, with that being said, it's very hard to remember everything you say. So I gotta love the song. Listen, if I love the song, I'm gonna listen to it like 100 times.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You got to be on your own dick.
More than that. Yeah.
I never heard you whack, though. You know what I mean? Like, you talk about the old projects, most from the time I started listening to you, I thought you were good.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, that's good. Yeah.
Who would you say influenced you? Like, how did you develop? Hear me out on this question. Like, how did you develop your style? Was the first thing you written the first way you said it? Did you stick to that, or how did you scope or mold your style?
I think it's just about like a lot of things. I remember there was a time, 2000 and probably like 9, I was in 11th grade, and I wanted to rap like Wale so much. Like I loved Wale, and because he's from where I'm from, and I wanted to learn his style. And I didn't really understand like it's important to be original. I just like, that's what it was.
Yeah.
I think it's people like him, obviously like people like Eminem, Kanye, 50 Cent. Those are the early people. J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar. So before I got locked up, the last albums I remember listening to was J. Cole's first album and Kendrick Lamar's Section 80. So that was locked in my memory when I got locked up. So I watched Kendrick Lamar go from that Section 80 into being on the radio for the first time. But I heard him on the radio for the first time. It was the Women, Weed, and Weather joint when I was in prison. So I'm like, damn, he made it to the radio. You know? I didn't know much about music, but I knew that he was in an underground world, and those guys normally don't get on the radio. So I was like, once you start hearing that, that means it's probably about to happen. So I remember that. I remember being excited from prison, like, damn, he really did that. I first saw A$AP Rocky in jail. It was 106 in Park, and I'm serious. I didn't know who he was, and I'm like, I saw the gold teeth and the brace. I'm thinking he from Baltimore. Like I'm like, that's some Baltimore shit, you know. That was the first time I ever saw A$AP Rocky, literally.
Was in jail.
Yeah, in jail. When I got locked up the last time, there was no Instagram, or at least nobody was using it. Yeah. Right. And when I got out, it was Instagram and Chief Keef. You know what I mean? So,
and you work with Chief Keef.
Yeah, I ended up working with Chief Keef.
Something, man. How did that connect? Like yo Pusha T.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I'll be like, if I'm in the studio with Pusha T, I'm making sure I bring my dum bars.
Yeah.
To the fullest extent.
It's funny because Tyler was going to be on that song originally, but it's going to be me, him, and Push. But like that song came about. I wrote it. I sent it to him. I was like, yo, I think I got something that's perfect for us. He's like, send it through. I sent it to him. He's like, oh yeah, no, I got you. And he was like, by the end of this month, I had some to you. By the end of the month, it was there. The verse was there.
Pusha
T.
Did you know him prior? Or you just sent him like?
It was like a DM thing. A lot of people is DMs. I just be DMing people.
Just DM Pusha T and got him on the track?
I feel like that's how I met him. Yeah, it had to be something like that.
How long did it take for him to respond back to you?
In the DM?
Yeah.
It's hard to remember exactly what it was, but it wasn't too long. He might have followed me, and then I followed him back, or I followed him, he followed me back. Then I DM'd him. I don't remember.
Yeah, but it happened.
Yeah. But that's what it was. Something like that. I noticed that a lot of artists just respect what I do. Like I remember one day, I looked on my phone. Well, I had to do something, and I came back to my phone. My phone was blowing up. I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, something had to happen with another artist or something. Cause I must be going viral or something. I went to look. It was the weekend. He posted dog food on his story, and everybody's tagging me. Everybody, yo, the weekend just posted that. And mind you, I was locked up for the weekend, so I didn't really see him really come out. So I missed that. I missed him and Frank Ocean and Tyler the Creator.
Damn, bro.
So when he came, when that happened, I didn't know the magnitude of how big it was, because this was like last year. But I knew it like The Weeknd is a big artist.
Yeah, Super Bowl performing halftime.
Let him know.
Yeah. So
you know, man, Super Bowl, dog.
Exactly.
Okay.
So then, boom, I go and tweet him like, damn, The Weeknd, fucking my music, man. Shout out to The Weeknd. And then he doubles back on Twitter and is like, amazing record, da-da-da-da-da. So I'm like, wow. And come to find out, Simple, that was his favorite project of the year when I ended up meeting him.
Wow.
Simple is dope, bro. Get this man a round of applause, IDK.
That's such a reminder of why the quality of your music is important, because word of mouth will trump any marketing scheme you come up with.
It's funny. That's something I literally teach that, but here's a funny thing.
Yeah.
In music, don't worry about, like, the consumers think it's about the numbers and shit.
Right.
No, art respect art. It's like in prison, man respect man. You don't have to be in a gang and all that. If you carry yourself like a man, people won't mess with you, bro. Yeah. They can feel it. It's I don't know how to explain that shit, but it's like, you may get tried somehow, some way, but for the most part, people can feel that. And same thing with art. Art respect art. Like, I could see an artist, he might have 300 followers. I know that at any moment he could blow up anyway. If I connect with that art, that's all that matters. And I'm learning that more than ever, because that's how I get what I get. People like, yo, how do you get this Jay Electronica on a song? Da-da-da. Bro, they respect me. They fuck with what I do.
Yeah, man.
know?
IDK, man, this is an amazing story right here.
Truly.
Why the title of this album?
F65 is F as in like formula racing, and then 65 is the year Malcolm X was assassinated. And basically, I believe strongly that when Malcolm X, decided to kind of go more to Orthodox Muslim, and he was changing his ways of how he his beliefs and how he delivered his message, he was assassinated. I believe his new message was going to be more and more of love, more inviting. And this album is about inviting people to the conversation of race.
Yes.
So that's why I use F from F1 in it.
Oh, so good.
I like that, man. IDK. I was going to
So
start off
good.
with another one, but you mentioned the word love.
Yeah.
We got Still Your Man?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to play. I thought this was a really clever play you did with this. This is off the F65 album. We're going to come back with IDK. 888-742-3345. Clever, man.
Yeah, thank you.
What was you feeling in that moment that made you do that piece?
I was in London, and same thing, freestyle, but it came from like past relationship things, watching a lot of these podcasts, like where it's like men and women kind of going back and forth, battle of the sexes, I guess you could say. They call it like red pill talk or something like that.
Yeah.
All of those things, and then kind of putting that. One, I'm not hearing many people talk about that stuff anyway.
Yeah.
And it was just my feeling at that moment. Like I literally, same thing, pieced it together, from the top of my head. So.
Do you have a type when you date? You find?
I just love beautiful women if it comes to looks, but then the second part of it is, so it's like it's easy to get my attention with looks maybe, but like actually keeping me is a different thing. That has to do with who you are, what you represent, your morals and principles, how you look at the world, you know what I'm saying? Like if you see the same things that I see, not everything, but some of the key main things, like I think like one of the biggest things is the conversation of like equality. People make it way more simple than it really actually is.
Right.
It's not that simple.
What do you mean?
Because if you think about equal, that means like 50-50 on each side. And when you talk about like the dynamic between two people, there's too many variables. Like 50-50 is one number amongst whatever these variables are. It's not likely that it'll be exactly there. It'll probably be one side this way, one side that way. So what I mean by that is not like equal pay and things like that, but just more like there is a lot of differences between the dynamics of people. It could be because you're a man or woman. It could just be because of how you grew up. It could be any reason. The problem is equality is not, to me, the answer. The answer is us working together as one.
Yeah.
Strengths and weaknesses coming together like a puzzle piece. And we all work together as one. So if you don't understand that concept, we're going to be arguing all the time.
Yep. That's what Michelle Obama was talking about.
Michelle Obama?
Yeah, in her marriage with Barack, and how they had a season where it was pretty much like 70-30.
Yeah.
And she felt like she was doing the majority just
that's
because
facts,
of, where children come in. So I often say equality is not sameness, you know?
Yeah. I think I understand like the equal pay stuff and all that.
Of course.
And obviously there's variables within that, but the most important thing is that we are not equal. We're all different, but we're supposed to work as one.
Yeah. Did it take you a while to honor that internal attraction for women? Because I find that for some dudes, there'll be a period of their life where the focus is just on the surface.
It's on that ass.
Yeah. Let's be exact.
Oh, wait,
with
hold
it.
on. My niece is in the room.
Yeah.
I got to
I'm sure she's been using that word quite often.
I feel horrible.
But you feel what I'm saying? Or
Sorry,
did it take some time for you to really value that part of a woman?
Probably. It took me hanging out with a lot of different women and understanding like a lot of different things that were also valuable, not just their looks.
Yep.
I think that when we can understand the opposite sex, we get smarter and smarter the more we understand that. I don't know how to explain that to you, but I believe that learning from people, I mean, anybody who's the opposite of you, learning from them, like, it really creates that for me, you know. So, yeah.
IDK is here.
Yeah.
This young lady right here is my niece. That's her dad right there. Her dad is the cousin to my business partner, longtime friend, DJ King Tech, who I started in the business with. So his name is Mo Ali. Our kids, man, they went through boot camp growing up. They couldn't go out and play unless they memorized New York State of Mind by Nas or Halftime. Just the dopest MCs, they had to memorize their verses. Like, she could spit some Nas right now. You got any Nas off the top? Just a couple bars.
We won't.
You want to do that? Okay. All right. But she used to send me, still does a lot of music she thought I should know. Yeah. And when she was in high school, or maybe just out of high school, she sent me you.
Oh, wow.
So I told her, come up so she could ask you. She's a big fan of all your music.
Oh, I love it.
Jillian IDK.
Yes. Jillian. What's up?
How are you?
I'm good.
You actually asked like most of the questions I was gonna ask, but
oh shit, my dad, I must be good.
Like, don't go like these.
So we're always on the same.
I think like you.
Yeah. No, definitely. But you dabble in a lot of different genres, so I was wondering, would you ever just like dive really deep into one genre for a whole album?
It's funny, like how I make my music. It's never really too much thought to it. It's whatever happens in the moment and the way I'm feeling. It's so hard to like. Before I used to think about everything. Mm-hmm. Now it's literally everything's based off feeling. I think you come to a point where I put my 10,000 hours in like 3 times. You know, I say that all the time, and so now rapping is actually extremely easy for me. If it comes to like making a song, you know. But the thing is like, how do I make something that people feel? And in order for me to do that, I gotta feel it, you know? So if I'm feeling something, I'm not thinking about it. When I'm in front of that mic, the cerebral IDK that people may think they know, when I'm in front of that mic, I'm mindless. You know what I mean? So if I happen to get on 10 drill beats and they all make me feel a way, and I can put an album together and I can tell the story and have the impact that I believe I can have on those 10 beats, and that's what it is. But it'll never really be super intentional. I know a lot of people say, hey, you should do more like singing and do a whole album just singing, and I think I thought I was going to do that with this last album, but then it just turned into whatever it turned into.
Wow.
So,
Mm-hmm.
All right.
With this stream of consciousness that you're describing, that IDK, how long does it take you to put a song together? And also, with the caliber of folks that you have collaborated with, has anyone ever brought you back their verse that made you say, I want to switch some things that I just did now?
It's funny. Not really. I haven't heard nobody's verse and like, I got to do another verse. Honestly. Okay. Nah. You know, it's more so like, the consciousness is the stream of consciousness is like, how well did I tap into that? And basically, essentially, all I'm saying is how real was my verse. And if my verse was real, then that's what it is. You know what I mean? I'm not one of them guys. I don't look at these rapper dudes as competition. Like, I know people like that, and I know that's where it started, but you got to remember, it started in battle rap. I'm not battling these guys, man. I want them to win too. Yeah. I'm battling myself.
There you go.
You see what I'm saying? So if I hear Pusha T's verse and I know he killed it, I'm just glad he contributed very well to whatever I did. Because I wouldn't have sent him my song if I even thought it was something I may have to change.
Yeah.
True.
You expected him to kill it.
Yeah.
This album is F65, Citizens. If you haven't heard it, by IDK, jump on it. It takes you on various journeys. There's a lot of great interludes on it as well. Yeah. And then you even, I love how you approach social issues that we have to deal with every day. In the song Mr. Police, you were able to kind of talk about the dynamic between policing in our communities, but in a kind of abstract way. You know, you wouldn't, the dichotomy of the sound of the song, but the wording of the song is something that really brought me in. How did that song come about? You obviously had your relationships with the police, but yeah.
That came another stream of consciousness song. I had the original piano part in the studio, and I had an upright bassist come in, and I was like, let's just see what we can make with this. I didn't know where I was gonna go with the song, but I knew it felt strong. Those chords felt important to me. And I sat on those chords for a very long time, like almost a year. So I got them in the studio and they were playing it. And then I remember I had to go pick somebody up from the studio. So I get in my car. I drive a GLS 600 Maybach.
You better work. You heard him. He caught the subway when I saw him at Apple Music Store.
I did though.
I know.
That's crazy. But
Damn,
no.
Sway.
So I got in the car and I was gonna go pick somebody up, but I didn't want to leave the studio, so I got on FaceTime, put it in my little thing, the little mount, and I was listening to everything, and I was directing people still. So basically,
Wow.
But then the police got behind me, and I remember I was like, yo, the police is literally behind me right now, and I was like, what would I say if they came? And I was like, Mr. Police, how are you? And then they didn't pull me over. I just kept singing that, and then I remember I just said, whoever I'm about to go pick up, I'm about to just turn back around.
Yeah.
I just turned around. I went in the studio. I told everybody, I was like, I got something. This one's going to be crazy. I promise you. And then I just got on the mic. Same thing. I let it flow. And that's when Mr. Police happened. And I thought of the video that day that I made the song.
Wow, IDK is here, man. I'm loving this.
Me too.
I feel like in Pinot Noir, Saucy Santana killed you on that verse.
Shout out Saucy.
Really? Juicy Fruit killed both of us. You know what I said to her? I said, you had the crazy verse, right? But at least I made the beat, so I ain't tripping.
But that song in itself is just so different. But I thought it paid homage to Break It Down with De La Soul.
Of course,
right?
I was talking to Paz about it when I first sampled it. I got on MPC. I hit him up like, yeah, that's what we doing right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But literally,
damn, you got a relationship with Pasta News?
Yeah, come on, man.
Come on right here,
that's my man. That's my guy. I actually owe him a verse. I gotta get that done, but he reminded me.
Okay.
But he literally. I always like to get the blessings of the OGs when I do that. You know what I mean? So I got it, and then I literally put the Kia sample on there, and then I was like, man, I was making a joke. I'm literally getting like 2% of that song right now. It's got so many samples, features, everything on it. But at the end of the day, man, I did that one for the culture. So I felt like it was like a very good, I called it like musical gumbo, you know, taking the Smokey Robinson, taking the Tribe, taking in the video at least, taking the De La Soul, you know, the Kaya, and putting like it's got a West Coast kind of pattern to it, but then you got me from the East, Juicy from Memphis, Saucy, that represents a whole nother community, bringing that community plus a lot of women as well to the song, you know. I made that song because I wanted like a woman to feel like she could be champagne ratchet. Classy, but ratchet. Okay. Like twerking with like a champagne glass. You know what I mean? Like that's what you saw. That was your vision. That was the vision.
We appreciate you
IDK,
for that.
a freaky dude right here. Sky, that's all it took was just, hey, I see a woman twerking with champagne.
That's the mood of today.
Where you get your inspiration? Hold on, man. Tony on the line from Dallas. Tony, go ahead. What's up, man?
Hey, Tony.
Tony.
Hey, man. Hey, yo.
Yo. Say what up to IDK. First time caller.
Hey, IDK, bro. Big fan, man. I just wanted to tell you, bro, I used to write a lot when I was younger.
Yeah.
And I kind of lost the passion for it. I've been listening to a lot of you, actually. Denzel, JID, you know, a lot of the new up-and-coming greats. And I just wanted to say, bro, you're very inspiring. I have a question. You and Denzel put out a lot of heat together. Are y'all thinking about doing like a collab album? Because I know that's like real popular now, like Alchemist and Larry June, and you know what I'm saying, stuff like that.
I would love to. We've been talking about it for forever. I remember that, and we actually have so much music together. I think it's just a matter of us locking in and really like sticking to it. Like that's really all it is. Yeah.
That dog food was on a video game, right?
Yeah, it was. I think it was on
FIFA. What's it?
FIFA. That's what it was.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Hence the Maybach.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Tony, thanks for your call. You're a citizen, man.
Sway in the morning.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a couple questions before I know we got to let you go. You're doing a tuition-free seminar at Harvard University. It's called No Label Academy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Okay, so when I hear these conversations, and I just heard you break down the splits, the publishing, the writer splits for the song Pinot Noir. And this is something I learned early in the business prior to doing MTV and radio. I was an artist, so but we did it independently as well. So King Tech and I learned about publishing, royalties, the whole nine. What information, just a different time period, we hear LaRussell, who's from where I'm from, speak a lot about the back end of the business. What about the back end of the business would you like independent artists to know that you can still make a living? Right?
One thing I always say is music is the easiest it's the easiest intellectual property to monetize off of. Like, this could be a song right now. Like, you know, we could put a beat behind this conversation and put it on DSPs and somebody will buy it or listen to it and stream it. So I think knowing that, the other thing about that is it provides residual income, and the more residual income you have, the better your future will be when it comes to wealth. So I say always try to have participate in as much of the economics as possible after you make the song, though. The song is the feeling. Don't worry about money and none of that when you make it. But when it's done and you see what it is, try to do that, because that is what's going to pay for your GLS 600 every month.
There you go, man, because it is a monthly.
Yeah, because I don't buy cars cash.
Yeah.
That's one thing I learned early.
Yeah.
Save your cash flow, save your money, you know what I'm saying? Like, spend as little bit on things like that as possible. Put your money in things that make you money. That's for fun.
Okay, great. I think we should experiment. I think Torch, you send IDK the audio for this interview. You make a beat on it. All right. You know, put that shit out, stream it.
Yeah.
Let's do it, man. Let's make an interview song.
Let's go. As long as Sirius don't sue me, that's all.
No, this ain't got nothing to do with them. Ain't their voice. Don't worry about it. It's my voice. That's an audio. They good. We got our thing. Don't worry about that.
Right,
you be good money. You know, just make sure Jillian gets her share. You know, she asks a question. Don't edit Tracy out.
I got you.
And we'll be okay. Talk to me about No Label Academy, man.
Yeah, so No Label Academy is a course that I put together that I teach at Harvard, and it's for people of color who normally wouldn't get the chance to come to Harvard, and obviously Harvard students, to mix and mingle and learn about music business. Because what my goal is I want the parents of today to understand that you don't have to be a superstar to have a GLS 600. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't need to have platinum records to have a good career, a sustainable career in music. And there's many different things you could do, not just making music. So I want people to know that and see that there's people that make as much as a doctor that's so under the radar, you know. And my idea is just like, I want parents to encourage kids to use art to make money.
Amen.
I love it. IDK, man. When you gonna be a father?
Who knows, man? You know, that's not up to me. You know, that's up to, you know, the man upstairs. But like, you know, I'm ready for it when it comes. You know,
It's up to you a bit. It's up to you.
You got a little bit to do with it, though.
I
don't know. Can't happen without you.
I know.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
All right, and then finally, I want to ask you about the
Oh yeah, the dermal.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
I realized I didn't know what to call it as I wanted to ask you about it. This is called a dermal?
A dermal, yeah, but it's a diamond, so it's like basically, I got like a really small one put in my face. They gotta like cut a small incision in your face, put a plate underneath it, and then like kind of screw it on, and then it stays on there.
Gangster.
Yeah.
Too gangster for me.
Yeah.
It's just a look, or is it?
Yeah, it's dope. I just think it's like a extra conversation piece. I like doing things that are subtle that create conversation. So,
all right, okay, cool. So real diamond?
yeah.
Okay, all right. IDK,
Stupid.
brother, I can't tell you how proud I am of you, man. It's just been really fun to watch your career and watch you excel. And I love, Denzel family here.
Yeah,
you know that's
my man. Yeah.
That's family here. Are we touring right now?
Yeah, well, September my tour goes out, so you can go to my website, 3dot.com. It's THR33DOT.com to get tickets. I'll be in New York.
You'll be in New York?
Yeah.
All right, man. I'm going to end with Fat Trail. He's been on the show before. That's Family Thug Tier.
Yeah.
Talk about Trail, man. How'd y'all connect?
Trail, when he got out of jail, he's one of the first people I think that hit me up. I was one of the first people he hit up. A lot of people back home, when they get out, they hit me up because they know, like, I've been there and then I just kind of have a different approach of how to kind of do what you got to do in the industry, right? So I talked to a lot of those guys. He hit me up. He was in L.A., I was like, cool. I did a song for him. It's not out yet. And then he did that for me. Yeah.
Just hitting people up, huh?
Yeah.
All right, man. I love it. That's the game right there. Anything else you want to say?
Yeah, man. I appreciate y'all having me on here, man. You know how far we go back.
Bro.
You know what I mean?
That's beautiful, man.
And to hear that you consume my music as a fan like this, I mean, I'm actually shocked. I wasn't sure. You know, I know you like what I do, but I didn't know you was on it like that.
Oh no,
so.
man. Let me tell you what music. I think what it is for me. I've been trying to figure this out. Like Belly's album, I just went over and over. JID, Jid's album, last album. I just throw their music on. I threw your music on. It plays in the background, and it just it puts me in a place I was when I heard other, Southern playalistic Cadillac music from Outkast. It puts me in a place where I first heard Illmatic with Nas. Section 80. All of these. Your music puts me in that same space where I know I'm in my sweet zone of what I truly enjoy to absorb. The vibration off of your music puts me on in a better mood. Music gives vibrations, And so when I listen to your music, it puts me in a better mood. Rich the Kid, you guys got the 850 on top joint, right? Rich the Kid is my homie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just certain, when I see you do combinations with certain artists and it brings something out of those artists. You did something with Swiss Beats, right? And I was like, damn, man, this dude got the Swiss.
Yeah.
And it's like, so I personally, just on a fan level, enjoy your music. But on a professional level, I think your music and your conversation are extremely necessary. It's balances, checks and balances in what's going on in our culture. I don't knock nothing, but at the same time, I could tell when something is needed. And I think what you do is needed. When y'all listen to this music, when you listen to this album, it's what my niece said. It's not one thing.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of different energies that's happening at one time. And then you'll hear NLE Chopper on a project with the Salty joint. He's somebody, when he was still in high school, we had come up to the show and performed at South by Southwest.
Wow.
So that's what it is, man. I'm really a fan of this culture, man. The business part, I've excelled. I've done well. I don't have a Maybach. but I'm really about the music and the culture. So I appreciate you, IDK, man.
Thank you so much.
Man, brother, man.
Appreciate
Thank
that.
you, man. Come back and give us some bars, though, next time.
Of course.
All right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
okay,
sir.
good, man. We're going to play this Thug Tier featuring Fat Trail.
Yes.
Thank you for coming by.